Hello, welcome to Random Talks and Intrusive Thoughts. I'm Darian.
I'm Andrew.
And this is our next episode, whatever episode this is. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
I think it's 11.
Episode 11? No, episode 10. Because we just did 9.
Oh. You might be right.
But, yeah, so our Patreon is going to be starting up soon, hopefully, once we figure that out. And subscribe to our Patreon. We'll try to see how much we can get. We'll let you guys know how much we plan on doing and what the benefits of each Patreon level will be. But yeah, you'll get more content. Definitely for sure you'll get a lot more of
you saw that too?
Yeah, you'll get a lot more episodes. You'll get more of us, so probably us vlogging or something like that. Depending on what level you are, you'll probably get a promo code to our merchandise on our merchandise. So we'll be coming out with our podcast gear. Well, not podcast gear, but like all our gear for our Random Talks and Intrusive Thoughts gear.
Around our 30th episode, I should say, is when we'll start doing not like cuts, but like what we do during out the day.
That's a year, bro. Our 30th episode. If we're doing one episode a week, that's 30 weeks.
We're on episode 10.
Yeah, I know. So 20 more. That's 20 weeks. So
fine, 10 more weeks.
In 10 weeks.
We should have the proper equipment for daily vlogs, or how we are during the day, how he is at the gym, how I am at football.
Yeah, join our. Well, he doesn't have a TikTok yet, but join my TikTok at Titan Fitness 10. You get to see me act like a goofball at the gym and see me on my journey to fitness. And then he's planning on getting a what for football to record you.
Oh, I was planning on getting a drone that sees overhead. It stays in one spot, and I'll get this wrist tracking device, so it constantly tracks on where I'm at the field and what I'm doing, and just to see. I think I'm an incredible player, so you guys can see how I am, how my body reacts whenever the football's thrown to me or whatever. I think it will be a good experience for me to learn better about myself and how I play. And me as a player, help me improve and what I think need to improve on.
So yeah, he'll be getting a drone, and I'm gonna continue with my fitness journey on TikTok. Titan Fitness 10.
That drone could also be used, like if we ever decide to walk and talk for the podcast, or just stand up for the podcast. It could just record us at a distance, because the drone I was planning on getting is like around $1,000, and you're able to connect a camera, and it comes with the camera itself.
Oh wow! I've seen cheaper cameras or cheaper drones, but
I guess they able to connect and hold a camera.
They come with their own cameras that are 4K.
All right,
I'll show you. But yeah, and then hopefully we're gonna be getting, with the money from the Patreon or whatever money we start making from our merchandise and stuff, we're going to be putting a portion of that to our podcast. So we'll be getting more microphones, better microphones. We'll be getting a interface so we can connect multiple microphones to it, and headsets and etc. And then we'll be decorating our studio, our podcast studio. We'll definitely get a lot more statues and stuff. We'll have a lot more stuff in the background, like posters and so we'll have a lot more better quality microphones, audios, cameras, and stuff like that.
Lighting.
We'll be having our own merch, so we'll be wearing our merch every once in a while, so you guys can see like, what you guys are getting into. Like, is it worth it or not? Hopefully, we'll be testing out our products to see what is truly worth it, what kind of designs will look best on it, what will last longer, and
type of materials.
Yeah, we'll make sure that it's top tier quality that we ourselves would wear, and we would want you guys to wear.
Especially me, since I'm always out and about and I'm always doing some rough stuff, and if it holds on tight on me, then I think it'll be pretty good.
Yeah, and then it'll be Random Talks and Intrusive Thoughts Patreon. But we'll start that when we start that, and we'll let you know when it's aired.
So, what's new with you?
So far, nothing's really new. Just been working, going to school. Or actually, I haven't been working, but I've been going to school.
Tell them what you told me about your leg, how it keeps on.
Oh, so I had, they didn't, okay, so for my sister's birthday, we didn't tell you about this, but I had a slip and fall. So I was walking, or we got out of the pool, and I was walking, and then my other leg, that's the strong one, slipped. So it lost grip on the ground and it slipped. And it was the slowest fall ever, and it was excruciating pain. So my knee, basically, hold it. So basically, my knee, so every once in a while it like gives out, and then I could do a little buckle. But this time when I was falling, it was trying its hardest to stay tight, but it just kept loosening further and further, and then I was just falling slowly to the ground. It probably like 20 seconds for a fall, and they were making fun of me. They thought I was joking, but I was just slowly falling to the ground, and it hurt. But yeah, my knee, my muscle just kept like relaxing, and I folded and fell on my knee. But everybody thought it was pretty funny.
Story time about how he met my family.
Story time about how he lost his virginity. Andrew Becchetta lost his virginity.
This guy bent me over in the most. I'm just kidding. Anyways.
Can't get it off his mind now. He's like, damn,
so we were in this is our first quince we did together, huh?
Yeah, it was.
We did this quince. Darian didn't have a ride for shirts, and he had asked me if I could ask my mother for rides, and I was like, yeah, I'll ask my mother. My mother's like, yeah, of course. She picked us up from school, right?
Yeah, picked us up from school.
From school, we went to go get fit and everything. I love joking around. I am hyper. I have ADHD. I'm always and especially when I was younger, I could control it a lot better now. But I kept on talking. My mother's like, shut the fuck up. And I just kept on talking.
You weren't talking. You were making a joke, and she didn't like the joke.
I make a lot of jokes. Racist, dark humor, nasty jokes that she don't like.
First Amendment.
Freedom of speech. And Darian was in the car, and he was joking around with me. My mother, out of nowhere, she's like, shut up, Andrew. And I was like, no. And then next thing you know, she just grabs her gun from the seat, clocks it, points it at my head. And then didn't I grab the gun and pointed it and put it on my forehead?
She swerved off the road and then said, say that joke one more time.
And I said it again. Balls of steel.
Clocked it and then holstered it and then drove off.
And then, so that's how he met my mother. He was so scared. This guy went from sitting like right next to me to try to get outside.
I was pinned against the car door as far as I could get. Just trying to try to get as far away from the end of the gun as I could. This was freshman year, by the way.
And this was when we first actually getting really, really close.
Yeah.
And then I end up getting a stepdad. He finally meets my stepdad a year later. This is the first time he was in his truck. My dad points a gun at me. They both just pointing guns on my head.
So for this one, there was two people that were going, because at the time they were living at a junk ground. We're doing our podcast. We're having Cassandra coming into our podcast, dropping by.
I thought they were having sex.
Oh, what?
Just kidding.
That's after the podcast.
Do you want to come say hi?
I don't think this would be a good entrance.
Alrighty.
I'm looking a little rough.
But yeah, so this is our setup. But yeah, so
Do we look okay?
Yeah.
shout out. What's your Instagram or TikTok or whatever you want?
Here, I'll just put it on the camera.
Oh no, how do you say it? What would it be?
__ Bonita Angel.
__ Buenita Angel.
No, that don't mean you gonna follow her either.
Wait, isn't that Lucifer's? Lucifer's their dogs, by the way.
Bonita is not Lucifer, it's hers.
Yeah, but which one's Lucifer's?
Lucifer King Shadow.
Oh, that's what I thought the one you were saying.
His own
So they have a
Instagram.
dog.
Yeah.
They have a dog that has an Instagram.
Yeah.
What is it called? Lucifer King
Shadow.
Lucifer King Shadow, which is their dog's Instagram. Is it also his TikTok?
He doesn't have a TikTok.
Oh, he doesn't have a TikTok yet.
Yeah.
But yeah, he has his Instagram.
Crazy.
Dog, German Shepherd. But anyways, back
I
to
like that picture.
back to the story. So, they were living at a junkyard at this time, and two guys had walked into their yard, and two guys had walked into their junkyard without their permission at all. So we ended up driving, we all got in the truck, and then we noticed
that steal and randomly knock on our doors and steal around our yard, and I have little siblings, and of course my dad's gonna be protective of them. He doesn't want anything happening to us, and so he's like, "Come on, Andrew, let's go for a drive." And I was like, "Darn, come on."
So, oh no, he was gonna drop me off, and then we got in the truck, and then he's like, "Hold on, let me check this out." So we drive up, and then he's like, "You can't fucking be in there." And he's like, "Oh, we were just going through." He's like, "It's clearly locked. You're not supposed to be in there. Get the fuck out of there." And he had pulled out his gun, and they got in their car and they drove off after like saying like, "Oh, what the fuck are you gonna do?" and whatever. And so they drove off, and then he's like, "Well, I'll fucking point this damn gun at your head." Well, like talking to himself, but he's like, "I'll point this fucking gun at your head." And then starts pointing at his head, and he's like, "I'll fucking, you know what I'd fucking do?" And then he points it out the window, unloads the whole clip. It was it a 10-round clip? And he unloads the whole thing. Andrew catches one of the shells, and he's like, "Oh, it's hot!" Throws it at me.
Comes in at the wrong time.
He throws it at me. It's all hot, and but yeah, he unloads it, and then he's like, "He's so fucking lucky I didn't do that." That's how I met his dad. That's how I met his mother. That's how I met his dad.
By them pointing guns at me.
Terrible.
That's been a habit recently. I'm just kidding. That's been a habit recently. Just guns getting pointed at my face. Like my sister.
We're doing our podcast.
Podcast?
Want to say hi to our podcast?
No, not really. But I was gonna say, hey, D&D would be a perfect name for
Double D.
Double D. We might change our names.
I didn't think of that.
Why is everybody dropping by on our podcast all of a sudden? Later.
That's the guy that got me the job.
Yeah, Dumb and Dumber, I guess. But yeah, that's how I met his mom and I met his dad.
That was terrible. And then the way I met your sister. When it comes to my family,
Wait, how I met your sister?
How I met yours.
Oh, how you met my sister?
Whenever it comes to my family, I have so much siblings, and there was only one restroom. So whenever someone needed it, I'll be like, okay, just don't fucking look at me in the shower. And I was the same way with him, but he never came in. And then his mother always tells him to do the trash. And so he was knocking on the door, and I thought it was him. And his sister's like, I need to get the trash. And I was like, fine, give me a second. Right when I unlocked it, she opened it right away.
No, you went to go unlock the door.
Oh, yeah, I went to go unlock it.
Herself.
And I went to... And I freaked out, and I had yanked the thing in front of me. And then a couple weeks later, I do the same thing.
My sister was taking a shower, and the exact opposite changed. I unlocked the door for him, and my sister went to go unlock the door, and the exact same thing happened. She went and she closed the shower curtains on him, but that's how they met each other.
That was the first time she met me, and then that was the first time I met her. It was terrible.
That's when she used to have long hair, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you guys didn't know, my sister used
She
to have
also
really
had
long
the
hair.
blonde highlights, right?
No, those were natural. Her hair was natural. It just naturally turned blonde during the summer. It was weird. Or not in the summer, but in the sun it would turn blonde. It'd stay dark during the winter.
That's pretty cool.
Just like your hair. Your hair does the same thing. Not anymore. Now it's dead, but it used to do the same thing.
No, it still does the same thing. It's just whenever it's short. Whenever it gets longer, it's harder to tell, but if I spread it apart, you'll see the light.
Your hair's dead, bro.
It's not.
It's alive.
It's dead, but it's alive.
It's alive, but it's dead. Bro, what are your thoughts? What's your craziest conspiracy theory?
Aliens are real.
Why do you say that? You believe they're real?
Because you're one of them.
What's your craziest conspiracy theory?
Give me a sec to think.
Drop down in the comments what you guys' craziest conspiracy theories are, and we'll review them next episode. But drop your craziest conspiracy theory and sources. Not too many though.
That we're not the only ones.
What do you mean by that?
Basically, aliens are.
Aliens?
Yeah, aliens are real. Because it's crazy how big the universe is, and we could be the only living intelligence.
Didn't they find bacteria on Mars though, proving that we are not, or because technically they're not, they're life of not of this world.
Unless we're one of the last to live.
You think so? The last of a dying breed.
Yeah, I mean,
You know whose brand that is? That's Jay Lane's. Shout out to Jay Lane's Out of Pocket Potters. He has merchandise and it says "Last of a Dying Breed." Dream Chasers.
but no, it's crazy. Like, let's say if there was other life forms, it'd been crazy if they all like migrated to Earth, because we're not the only intelligent life forms here on Earth. Dogs are pretty smart.
Well, dolphins are the second smartest animal on the planet.
Exactly, and then we haven't even explored majority of our sea. We explored more in space than we did in our own sea. Like, what's down there?
What is down there? What do you think's down there? Do you still believe? Do you still believe that the megalodon is still down there?
That would be crazy if it is.
Why do you say that? Do you think so, or do you think there's any prehistoric monsters down there still?
Yes, but no, because I had seen this one movie, kind of made me believe.
What movie?
You know how on the top of the surface it's all warm, but the deeper you go down, the colder it gets, the more pressure it gets. But under certain areas, there's a big old pocket where it's like a bubble system, and it goes back to warm.
What do you mean by that? Like are you talking about like the heat vents at the bottom of the ocean?
Yeah, but like it's not like radioactive or anything. Like, it warms up the whole place. Like,
Yeah,
if
the
it was
heat
on
vents.
top. But there's this one place that they found in the Mariana Trench that covers a big part, and just a big old cloud is.
Oh, it's cloudy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like different. It's like a different type of water. So it's like water underneath water, and it's a denser version of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. But for the heat sources, those are the volcanic. So it's like the fault line basically is where the fault lines are, and it's the volcanic heat that arises from the bottom of the ocean.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
Yeah, a lot of animals they go towards those vents because of bacteria that start to live down there, and they just eat the bacteria. Like the Yeti crab. Have you ever heard of the Yeti crab?
I just did.
Oh, it's like it looks like a lobster, like a white lobster. I think that's why it's called a Yeti, and it's all hairy and like a Yeti, white hairy Yeti.
But
Crab.
yeah, like, there's places that are like that all around the world, and that majority of us can't even go through there to explore because of the conditions. We don't have the technology or materials for it yet.
Do you believe in Sasquatch?
What's that?
Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Do you? Okay, so here's this thing. So I heard that's absolutely crazy. Actually, I just seen it yesterday. So basically, it talks about Sasquatch and like giants and stuff. So there's giants that might still exist because, or the Nephilim are basically angels that mated with humans and created giants, right? And that Noah flooded the earth. But there's a theory out there that they did not die because in multiple religions they're always talking about how there's giants still, or even in the Bible after the flood there was David versus Goliath, right, which is a giant. And there's also different religions across the world that talk about how there's giants that still walk this planet. And the most recent one, I believe, there was this Green Beret, which is the hardest. It's basically like the Navy SEALs, but like a lot more difficult training. So they went on a scouting mission to find military men that had gone missing, and they had it was in Iran or something like that, in the mountains, basically like empty space. And supposedly they found all the empty bags, and all the people who went missing, all their stuff was scattered all over the place in front of this cave. And so they went and they were scouting the area, and then all of a sudden this giant red hairy beast came out and started throwing stuff at them like spears, and they started shooting, and most of the like half the platoon died, or crew. What would you call them? The groups, like small groups, missions. Platoons. So half the platoon died, and
Or squad.
half the squad died, and or were taken out by this giant behemoth, and he disappeared back into the cave. And so a helicopter came and they started shooting at it, and then he disappeared into the cave. And they took those guys out of there, and nobody talked about it. Everything was covered up by the military. Supposedly, like, there's documents that are still there. And one of the guys finally decided to speak up, and he had spoke anonymously to people and shared that experience. So there's possible theories that there might be Nephilim, aka giants, aka Sasquatch and Bigfoot, out there still.
That would be crazy if there is Bigfoot, because even if it's not true, there's people that are over 8 feet, 9 feet.
Tall?
Yeah.
But they always have circulatory problems.
Yeah, but there's could be always one in a million. Giannis, he's like almost 7 feet, and he doesn't have any type of problem with his body.
Circulatory system?
Yeah.
I don't know, but
He's
have you
one-
seen the sloth compared to the giant sloth? It's like 800 times its size. Sloths are barely like a foot off the ground, and the giant sloths used to eat off treetops, avocado specifically.
Let me see. Do you have a picture of anything of it?
I can show you after the podcast. But yeah, they're like huge. Did you know that the only reason that avocados survived so long was because of the giant sloth?
Avocados?
Avocados, yeah, because they were the only creatures at the time that were able to pick them off the trees and eat them. So, and because they wouldn't, because of how big the seeds were, they wouldn't ferment into, like when they would fall, they wouldn't ferment into the ground. But when a giant sloth would eat it, it would poop it out, obviously. The seed would fall and it would fertilize into the poop, and then avocado trees. And they almost went extinct because we started hunting down the giant sloths back in the day, and but we discovered agriculture, and we were able to plant the avocado trees for ourselves, and that's how avocados survived.
What else has survived from
I have
then?
no idea. That's the only one I know because I learned in history class.
What was your guys' favorite subject in high school or school in general?
Are you asking right now?
Mhm.
My favorite subject would have to be science for obvious reasons. I love science, crazy experiments, just the basic fundamental laws of the universe. That's why I love science.
I become a geek when it turns to history.
History.
Even though I know nothing about it and I've learned nothing about it, I just think it's cool in the moment.
It's like, wow. Tell me again in 5 minutes, I'll forget.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
We're gonna have to wrap it up. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. But this joke of the day, what you got?
My life's a joke.
Joke of the day. Come on.
Man, I suck at this part.
What's something you can tell your wife and your dog? Or
Over.
one word that you can tell your dog and your wife. Come. Come. Alrighty. So, what message do you want to leave to the fans out there?
Chase your dreams, man. Anything's possible. You are only limited to what your imagination and what you believe you could do. Don't let anyone else get to you or say you can't do it. Because there was a point where I wasn't able to run. Now I'm probably one of the most long distance runners that I know.
That's the message you want to leave?
Yeah, like anything's possible.
I just want to say, take care of your body because it's the only one you got. There's only one of you, so do what you got to do. But take care of your body. Make sure you get your nutrition in. Take care of your health. Make sure you stay fit. Go to the gym. Eat right.
Plenty of rest.
Always get plenty of rest because sleep is very important. If you want good test scores, the best way to do it is get good sleep. Take it serious. Take your body serious because it's the only one you got. You want be the best version of yourself. Why try to start falling behind when you could be the best version of yourself? Take yourself to the gym. Go on a walk. Go on a run. Go eat good food. Good high quality food. Don't eat processed food. It doesn't hit the same. Drink water. Just appreciate water. Like water's way better than soda. Soda is like a syrupy shit. It's syrup shit.
I had seen this one thing on this TikTok where, what if you died and God had showed you a paper of, let's say, you know how I want to go NFL and right now I'm in semi-pro and stuff like that?
Yeah.
It's showing that what I would have achieved in NFL, what I would have achieved as a father and stuff like that. And it's showing you all the things that you could have achieved.
I know there was
From
no,
that Navy SEAL guy.
no. It was an actor. It was the actor. So he said,
But you know what I'm talking about, right?
yeah. So he said, on your deathbed, every single version of what you could have been is around you, and they said, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you succeed? These are all of your possibilities that you could have been, and you didn't take that chance. And now here you are, dying or on your deathbed like the rest of us, useless and unable to do anything. Follow your dreams.
That one hit hard when I had first seen that message.
I forgot his name, but yeah, I know who you're talking about.
All right, but have a good night, good day, good morning, good evening. Take care of yourself. This is Andrew.
I'm Darian. Random Talks and Choose Thoughts.
Have a good day.
Peace.